Okay, Alison, I'm going to feel the front of your lumbar spine and also the hip flexor muscles. And we're looking for tension in these muscles, or we're looking for stiffness in the joints in the front of the lower back.
No one's ever looked there before.
Really? So I'm surprised, even though you've got back problems, no one's actually looked at the front.
No.
The reason why we do this is because where you feel your pain may not be where the problem is. And tension in these areas, for example, these muscles or the front of the lower back, if those joints are not gliding, that can contribute to your problem. Now, it doesn't have to be a back problem, it could be any other problem, and we do this routinely. So this is just part of the overall assessment we do.
Wow, that's wonderful.
So how does that sound to you, Alison? Does that make sense, what I explained?
Why doesn't everybody check there?
That's a very good question. And we find that most practitioners that we hear about from our clients don't check these areas routinely. And I think there's a number of reasons. One, they might not have the skills and expertise to look into these areas which are quite sensitive. Two, they often look in the area where your pain is. So if someone comes in with neck pain or shoulder pain, for example, they won't routinely check these areas because they think that where your pain is where the problem is. And that's not the case mostly. And we find, in fact, that a lot of the clients we see, the primary driver is somewhere remote to where their symptoms are. In fact, I've got a perfect example of a client who came in recently, and this example demonstrates the connections in the body. So she came in with neck pain essentially, and she couldn't turn her neck. It was a reasonably recent occurrence, but it happens every 2 to 3 months. Now this young woman also did a lot of heavy lifting in the gym, so squats. So as part of her assessment, we looked at not only the neck and shoulder, but we looked at the lumbar spine. And what we found in the lumbar spine was that she had some distinct areas of tension in the muscles and also in the joints of the spine. They weren't gliding. And what we did to find the connection between the lower back and the neck was that we did a little mini treatment on the lumbar spine and immediately tested the neck before and after. And what we found was there was a significant difference in her range after we treated the lower back. So that was quite amazing to see that. And she also was very surprised, but it made sense to her because she puts a lot of pressure on the lower back. So basically the moral of the story is don't assume that where your pain is where the problem is, and the body is interconnected. So what happens if you don't check these areas and be thorough in your assessment? Well, things are overlooked, things are missed, and these could be major things or major contributors to a person's problem, and they're going to be unresolved. So what does that mean? It means people have got to put up with their pain for much longer than they need to. It might become a chronic condition. It might affect many areas in their life, their job, their work, their hobbies, even their relationships. So it does really pay to be open-minded and really check the whole body thoroughly.